Hi, everybody. Welcome to the West Valley Holiday Highlights webinar sponsored by the great and dynamic team at Westmark. You know, Westmark has been doing a lot of great and amazing programming this year, and we've all benefited from a huge variety of topics, but I think personally that they have saved the very best for last with today's presentation. My name is Laura Kaino, and I'm a Goodyear City Council member, and I'm also a co-chair of the Westmark Quality of Life Subcommittee, along with Ron Castro of BNC Bank. And today we're going to hear from a number of our West Valley nonprofit arts and culture partners, and they're going to tell us about their current and proposed programming, as well as how they've had to deal with COVID during all of this. And so today our very special presenters include Sandra Bassett of the West Valley Arts Council, Clepaki, the CEO and founder of the Arizona Broadway Theater, Cate Hinkle, the managing director of Theater Works, Connie Whitlock, who we will see her presentation. Unfortunately, she won't be joining us, and Cathy Weiss, executive director of the Dell E. Webb Center for the Performing Arts in Wickenburg. So with that, I wanted to share with you some information about these nonprofits. And it's important that everybody realizes that they have a great regional reach and are major contributors to the quality of life of the West Valley, as well as the economy. And these are just a tempting sampling, and there's many, many more. But before we hear from them, I wanted to share some economic impact data about the arts and culture, because it's not just a feel-good kind of entity. It is an industry that employs people. It makes purchases of goods and services, and it attracts a customer base that comes and spends money too in our communities, in our restaurants, in our shops. And so I have some data from a national study that was conducted in 2016 by the Americans for the Arts. And it's an arts leadership and advocacy organization that also does a lot of research. And they found that 82% of Americans believe that arts and culture are important to local business and economy, and that 87% of Americans believe that arts and culture are important to quality of life. So I want to dive into the numbers just a little bit. Nationally, they found that the arts and culture industry contributes $166 billion to the economy. It's huge. And of the 341 regions that they studied, the West Valley made their list as a multi-city region. And so I'm going to give you some of our facts of the West Valley. The estimated spending of the nonprofit arts and culture organizations was about $13 million. And the estimated spending by their audiences was $10 million. It's a total of almost $23 million. With that comes 758 full-time equivalent positions and $1.3 million of revenue going to local government, and another $1.7 million of revenue going to the state government. So art really does matter. And not only does it inspire and enrich us, but it contributes to the local economy. And this study was conducted a number of years ago, and we have grown tremendously. And I would expect that the numbers have significantly increased. Well, and then came 2020, and everything changed for everyone. And so we've all responded to the rally call to support our local restaurants, to support our local businesses, and everybody is trying to do what they can to help. And our arts community has been hit hard as well. And so I'm excited that today you're going to hear about them, about how they have pivoted, how they've overcome their challenges. We're going to hear how what the good work that they're doing, and that we'll all be inspired to go out and see them for ourselves. So I know that this hour is just going to fly by fast, and I know that you all can talk. So be mindful of your time so that everybody gets a chance. And I believe first up is Sandra Bassett. And I want to tell you a little bit about Sandra. She and I had the opportunity to have a virtual coffee early on when she came on. She came on to the West Valley Arts Council right as the pandemic was just, really gaining great momentum. But she brings a wealth of experience both on the international and national art scene. And what's interesting about Sandra is that she has just as much of a business background as she does in the arts. And besides that, she is a recognized professional musician in her own right. So, by the way, Sandra, you did an outstanding job as the MC of the Best of the West. That was a great night, a great event. Everybody welcome Sandra Bassett.
Thank you so much for that kind introduction. It is a pleasure to be here to speak with you all regarding the West Valley Arts Council located in Surprise, Arizona. We are a visual arts and performing arts organization that's been around since 1969. So I'm happy to present to you today some of the things that are going on despite the pandemic. We have had to change the way that we engage with our audience. And our audience ranges in age from elementary school students to seniors that are living in assisted living centers. So we reach everyone. And because we can't interact face to face, we've had to adapt to a digital platform as well as a virtual platform in which we've created a vast amount of performing arts videos and Zoom opportunities in order to meet our needs for the communities in which we serve. So if we can call up the presentation, I'll be happy to walk you through how you can continue to engage and partner with us as we partner with you in the community. So what we have here is we are your partner in the arts. We have Cathy Connector as our board chair, and also Melody Kokora, who is our program director. Our goal is simple. We are here to help reach everyone in the Valley and create a vibrant and connected cultural and community. And we are currently conducting a year-end giving campaign. As Councilmember Laura said earlier, we have suffered a great loss in revenue. So we're asking for people to find ways to engage with us still to support the arts where we go, which is our schools and other locations. So we are an arts gallery where we do exhibits, and we also provide special events and performances. And we also go to schools, community centers, and assisted living centers and more. We have many different programs, as you can see on this screen, but I'm going to talk to you specifically about a few that could really use your attention and your support. Our first program is Arts Advantage, and this is a program that we have taken and made digital, and where we could use your support in making sure that we continue to reach over 45,000 students, not only in the West Valley, but also in the East Valley, by bringing them diverse cultural, integrative, interactive performances from many different types of backgrounds. And also we create curriculum to go along with our videos that are in accordance with the Arizona Department of Education standards. So you have an opportunity to support us by just donating $400, which will sponsor a class or a school in receiving one of our performing arts videos. Be mindful that our videos don't just support the students, but they also support local performing artists who have not been able to have additional income because of the pandemic. So it is a multi-focus, but $400 can bring a lot to a school and helping them to know more about different cultures in the performing arts. Our next program is an arts education partnership in which we do professional development, again for the schools. So this gives teachers an opportunity not only to learn new types of techniques in art that they can take and teach to their students, but also to develop their own skills. So it increases their level of comprehension, it increases their level of creativity and understanding in the arts, and then that also translates back to the students. So for $250 with our giving season, you're able to sponsor a professional development session for our teachers in our different schools in the West Valley. they need your help. Trust me, these poor teachers are so overworked right now. They're looking for many different things to participate in as well. We also reach our seniors with our creative aging program. Again, we used to be able to go into the assisted living centers and senior community centers and provide them with one-on-one art workshops. Now, again, due to the pandemic, we've had to go ahead and create a digital platform which allows them to connect still and keep their cognitive skills sharp. So they could definitely use your support, and $60 can help support them in one of their programs. Then lastly, we have Gallery 37. That is a high school program that we conduct in which a public art installation is created and installed. This year, we're working with the City of Surprise for their new Xeriscape that is coming, and you can help sponsor a student at $250. And the students receive 4 credit college credit units at the end of the completion of the program from Australia Mountain Community College. These college credits are fully viable and transferable, and it also gives the student an opportunity to create a public work of art. We like to thank you for your time and your support of West Valley Arts. We encourage you to give and to support the arts in many different ways. And you've seen some of our programs. I'm having a little trouble going to the last slide here. So I'm not sure if we can get a little assistance to, there we go. We encourage you to support the arts, make a difference, and give today. And you can find us at www.westvalleyarts.org and just give to the community and continue the education and your support of the visual and the performing arts. I thank you so much for your time and your consideration.
Thank you so much, Sandra. It's great to see all the great things that you are doing up there in Surprise. And again, it has a regional impact. You are involved in a lot of different things, and really excited to see what you're doing. Up next is Kyle Clepaki. I've been practicing your name. CEO and founder of Arizona Broadway Theater, and I can only imagine that the stories you and your wife could tell about your decision and your career to leave New York City and come to Arizona to start your own business of a theater here. And your all-in-one entertainment experience has become a nationally recognized theater producer, and so we're excited to hear what you have to share today, Kyle.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me to be a part of this panel. So a quick background, yes, my wife and I did move here from New York originally to start a theater company in the West Valley of Phoenix, knowing that the growth potential was there and that there was a great desire for more arts on this side of the valley. And we've continued to see that for the past 15, 20 years now as the city has continued to grow in this direction. So we were in our 15th season, and on March 15th, we had to shut down actually 2 productions. We not only produced at our theater in Peoria next to the sports complex, but also we produced downtown at the Herberger Theater Center. And both of those productions had an untimely halting. In doing that, we lost, we had to suspend almost 250 different artists and technicians. We also have a restaurant here, so we had to suspend many of those people. And that was a really, really tough day for us. Since then, we began some virtual programming, but as a lot of the performing arts have difficulty, putting together virtual programming in a world that is based on live performance is very complicated, and it doesn't necessarily satisfy that desire in our community. So we're obviously very hopeful that people will be able to start coming back and enjoy the live performing arts, because it can't be replaced by any digital form. It's that live exchange of energy in a shared environment that is really what makes the performing arts so exciting for us. So we put together a little video that sort of highlights the things that have happened to us since we had to shut down. And yeah, if we can play that now. And I don't know if there's audio, but there should be.
Yeah. Is it playing now? No?
Well, it appears that we don't have any audio to go with this video. So I can try to narrate the very words I said, but essentially we're walking through sort of what the shutdown caused to our facility. We lost, obviously any ability to open up for our patrons and any of our audience members. So we're highlighting some of the empty spaces within our facility. However, we still maintain a level of optimism as we're moving forward through all of this in hope of being able to get back to a day when we can resume our productions. On the 15th of March, we had just opened, well, there I am talking, how great. We had just opened the production of Chicago. We can go ahead and halt this video. I'll just speak for it. Which was really unfortunate because we were very enthusiastic about where we were on an opening weekend, and to lose that momentum was really heartfelt. We communicated with all of our artists, which we flew back to their home cities. Most of them were in New York, and had to really figure out how to navigate this next phase of our operations. Obviously, this extended for a long period of time. We began some interim programming in addition to the virtual programming that we've actually been doing for the past few months, which is a slow ramp up to try to build some consumer confidence in coming back to live performing, which means we have performances in our theater that normally can have 500 people and we'll have 20. But those people are coming back and they're still having a chance to experience part of what we do. We've been doing that for the past month and a half now, from doing bingo to murder mystery to doing some concerts that we've produced, as well as with some of our business partners. And we recently rolled out our plan to start doing our fuller productions again in January, which is an incredible risk for the performing arts. A lot of companies have continued to suspend, but we've found some artists that are willing to come out here and be a part of an experience for our audiences so that they'll come back. We've been communicating with our patron base, and they're very excited to come back to something, obviously recognizing the need to have the safety and sanitation protocols that we have in place. Obviously, people have to attend with masks, and there's obviously the cost of the additional sanitation protocols. But we're enthusiastic about being able to return. Our plan is likely that it's not going to happen for about a year from now, that we're back to some level of normalcy. I think we all are sort of looking, far into the future. Right now, the hope is that we're able to get to that point, that we can sustain ourselves long enough to get to the point where we can bring back these large productions, which is 30 people from out of state that are traveling here and all living in tight, confined spaces. And obviously that's impractical right now. So we're enthusiastic about it. We've launched a Stand with ABT campaign that is not just an annual campaign that arts usually do or nonprofits do toward the end of the year, but it's really to get us back to the day when we can resume our productions, which is the production of Chicago, which is on our stage right now. It's going to be there. Not only I can't take it down, but I can't replace it with anything else. Because it's just obviously very, very costly for us to rebuild anything. So we have a Stand with ABT campaign. There's information on our website, and we're soliciting those level of donations right now from any of our community supporters. We've had great response from our community in terms of their, sending, complimentary emails and wishing us the best of luck to get back to that level of normalcy, and of course, some financial contributions. And that's really what we're looking forward to is to get through this where we can come back to having big, Broadway shows again.
I think we're all looking forward to that, Kyle. It was I know we didn't get to see much of your video, but to seeing all those empty spaces and knowing that that is really a vibrant place where things happen and people gather, it's just been hard. It's just been hard, and so many of the things that we have celebrated doing. I think about taking my grandchildren to see Nutcracker and things like that this time of year. I mean, just some of the traditional holiday things, even for our children to be in plays and all those different types of things. It's been quite an adjustment. It's really good to hear that you have so much support from your community, And so you are still operational. We can still buy tickets, correct? And
Yeah.
go.
So yeah, we have these smaller productions. In fact, this weekend we have a little holiday tribute show that is going to be on our main stage. That if anybody wants to check that out, I would encourage you to do so. Not a lot of people again in the space. But we have some great local talent that we're highlighting in those productions. And then we're trying to get back to some level of productions after the first of the year. We're writing a couple shows ourselves to keep the numbers of the artists low. And then we're going to slowly be rolling out into some larger productions. But yeah, we're slightly open. We don't have a lot of staff here. There's very few people in the building. Obviously, people are working from home a lot, as well as being in the building. Public that don't have regular access. But you bring up a great point, is that we're sort of missing that connection that is really important, especially this time of year, which is why I'm wearing an elf shirt here. You can see that especially, I mean, the gathering space, that the live performing arts really are so important in who we are. And if we can't come together this time, especially around Christmas, which is always a huge time in the performing arts, we put a Christmas tree outside our building so people could still have a little bit of a holiday feel when they can't come into the lobby. But it's a hard pill, I think, for us to all swallow, because that connection is so important. People come for birthdays, anniversaries, where they want to have a shared experience. And I'm just hopeful that won't be replaced by people doing anything at all. I mean, arts have survived a lot of things, and we still have that desire to get together, even if Zoom or virtual worlds is the way we do it now. We want to see each other again, and hopefully that'll be soon.
Yes, I hope so too. And I'm declaring an arts rebound. There will be. We'll all be hurrying out to participate. Thank you so much, Kyle.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Want to hear from Cate now. Cate Hinkle, who is the managing director of Theater Works. And Cate, you're also accomplished, has a great background as well. Phoenix Boys Choir, Herberger Theater, Downtown Phoenix Partnership, and much more. I read about you. You're a marketing and fundraising wonder, and you do a lot of great things. And also, we're both members of Leadership West. You're class 23, I'm class 24. So love to hear from you, Cate. Thank you.
Thank you for that, council member. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here to be able to tell our story. Our story is very similar to the one you just heard from Kyle at ABT. Ours started just a few days earlier. Our gala was slated to happen on March 14th. And we pulled the plug on March 12th. So here we go with the skis sliding down the hill. So after the gala, it was 3 productions, 3 education programs, 3 outreach programs, and on from there. So yeah, we have also experienced, a great hit to our programming, and everybody does what they need to do to adapt to this time. It has been all over the place. So as we were engaging our board and our stakeholders and what the heck do we do next, there was something that just kept coming to the surface and kept boiling up. So we created something brand new. We threw out the rule book and said, what the heck do we have to lose? We're dark anyway. So let's start from scratch and reinvent what we see theater as right now. So we created an immersive theater production. Our artistic director has always been interested in that type of theater. And, we really would never have had the time or the space to be able to do something like this, and let alone the funding. So, with some help from some very generous donors and an empty building and time, then we were able to bring it all together. So you can go ahead and play our video. Hopefully the sound works on this one. Well, I'll talk you through it as they're queuing that up. We set our production in the world of Alice in Wonderland. So as you can see, it was live, and we called it Curiouser and Curiouser. It was set in the land of Alice in Wonderland. We converted 13 different spaces within the theater into different lands within that world of Alice in Wonderland. So you as an audience member represent Alice and walk through the theater, through the experience. And it's about 100 minutes long. We could have groups of 10. We kept it all very safe. We required masks, took temperatures. We gave you gloves to wear throughout your experience. You were in groups of 10. We also had social distancing within those groups of 10. So those people you bought tickets with, you were assigned a card suit, and you would follow that card suit throughout your time within the experience. So that kept you 6 feet apart from both actors and patrons. And we also had to think about the actors, right? How do we keep them safe? So, you know, with the loss of so many of our staff members, there were a lot of open spaces that we weren't using for the production, which then turned into dressing rooms. So we have office spaces that were being used as dressing rooms, green rooms, storage spaces. Everything was turned on its head and repurposed. So yeah, we had a great experience. We sold out the original 6-week run within 12 days of opening. We extended 2 weeks, and that sold out within a week. So we were able to get about 2,100 people through the theater in an 8-week period. So each night we had, 5 to 10 performances that started every 35 minutes. So you would walk through, 35 minutes later, another group would come through. So there were in any time just about 3 groups within the experience, but you were never in the same room with anyone else. So it was a really great experience to just throw out the rule book and start over and experiment a little bit. We had 67% new ticket buyers to us for this experience. It was quite remarkable to see that many new people trying out theater. So that was really encouraging. We are still quite depleted compared to last year. I don't know another good word to say it, but we're sitting at about 40% of our income as compared to last year. We're still taking a hit, and we're doing what we can to survive. And we are a nonprofit theater of the community, so we do rely on the generosity of the community to keep doing what we're doing. So we too have a resiliency campaign that we're running that we hope to continue to be resilient throughout this time and to set ourselves up to do what we do when the time is there and it's safe for us to do so. And as Kyle said, we're not looking that would be anytime soon. Maybe next season, I don't know, but this season's out the window. So hopefully within, in the spring, we'll be able to do something new. But right now we're dark. We decided that the numbers are too low and it's just too difficult to create a safe environment. So we're keeping our actors out of the theater for now, and our designers, and then we hope to come back together at the new year. That's what I got. Thank you very much.
Wow, well, you have a lot, and technology is definitely a mixed blessing. Because of it, we're able to get together and to talk to each other and visit with each other and such. But then it's always the details of getting videos to play and such, and which is why I am not sitting at my dining room table at home. I am here at Westmart because I knew I was going to need some tech help. So But you know, one of the things you said, Cate, was about just throwing out the rule book and starting over. And I guess if I had to say there's one blessing in COVID, it would be that it has really sparked a lot of creativity. And that's, I see that in government and business and in all different types of venues, that doing what you've always done, and that's not necessarily the case for the arts so much, but in other sectors, wasn't going to work, and had to get creative. And I think that that's definitely been an upside, but then the downside, because your work involves people and bringing people in and entertaining them and giving them this very rich experience. I mean, all of you are doing it, and it's just been a really long slog. I think maybe we're optimistic at the beginning that this might just get over by summer when the heat came and killed off everything, but that didn't happen, and now the things are uncertain going forward, and that's hard, because we have to keep a vision of going forward, but we are still facing so much uncertainty. And it's definitely my hope and prayer that all of you will make it through to the other side, because we need you. We need you all to be healthy and viable, and to continue to provide the great community service that you do. So thank you, Cate, for all of that.
Thank you.
My pleasure. And so I believe next up is Connie Whitlock, and she is the founder and the executive director of WHAM Art Experience, and she's also located in Surprise. Surprise has got a couple of powerhouses there. Unfortunately, she isn't able to join us today because of illness, but I will tell you a little bit about her. As a founder, she got into this because she wanted art for everybody, art to be totally inclusive, nobody left out. And so she's been dedicated in bringing the art experience through a number of ways: exhibits, classes, events, public art, festivals, you name it, she does it. I think the thing about Connie is that she likes to be out of the box. She's got the WHAM on wheels that goes out. She, just likes to do a lot of different things. She herself is an artist in clay and mural, and she's just a tireless advocate for the arts. Connie is also a graduate of Leadership West, and she's just been very active in Westmark, very, again, constant advocate for arts. I would say passion is her middle name, and so let's hear from Connie now. That looked to be a great video. Unfortunately, Connie wasn't here to narrate it. I know that she does a lot of work with veterans, and I think that's something that we saw in the video. And that's been I think it's called A Path to Healing, and she's done a lot of great work there. So we missed hearing from Connie today, but I hope that you'll have a chance to go out and see her at her place in Surprise as well. So next we have Cathy Weiss, who is the Executive Director of the Del E. Webb Center for the Performing Arts in Wickenburg. And I read up on you this morning and found that you were a founding member of the board, and then you became executive director in 2003, and that you entered the nonprofit world following a global career in the luxury hotel industry. And so that must have been a lot of fun to take everything that you learned and bring it to the arts community. And so we're really excited to learn a lot more about this gem in Wickenburg. So welcome, Cathy.
Well, thank you, Councilman Laura. My husband is also mayor, so there you go. Yeah, pretty weird. Can we roll the video, please? And good news, no sound on mine. So I'm really excited to be here today. I always, people who know me know I love to talk about the Webb Center. So we can get the video queued up. You know what? I'm just going to start talking. It's a video when it comes up, if it comes up, about how to get to the Webb Center because we're in Wickenburg. That's the end. But okay, there we go. So this is the way to the Webb Center, just kind of through the desert there, and there we are. We are located on the campus of Wickenburg High School. We are a nonprofit operating that center. So our body of work in normal times consists of some really interesting things, and I'm going to talk to you about that. But first, I want to double back to what Councilman Laura was talking about first. If you could cue up my PowerPoint for me quickly, and talk about statistics, economic impact statistics, and what the Webb Center has meant to Wickenburg in general. We participated in that West Valley Arts study by the Americans for the Arts, and here are our results. I think it's moving forward. There we go. Our mission is to present culturally diverse live performing arts and educational experiences that inspire audiences and artistically transform our community. And there we are with a sold-out house. These figures are the ones that Councilman Laura gave you earlier from the Americans for the Arts. But in addition, 63% of people believe that the arts lift me up beyond everyday experiences. 73% say the arts are a positive experience in a troubled world, and 64% feel pure pleasure to experience and participate in the arts. Here is what our economic impact is and what we do. So we, this isn't 2019-20, this is last season, realizing that it was cut short, very same story, backline equipment all on stage, sold out house, bars all set, everything's ready to go, volunteers signed up, their vests were all clean, slam shut. I showed up, I was the only one there to make sure that nobody else came. So we did get off 35 performances last year. We had 15 of them sell out. We sold 17,500 tickets, and that's an 85% capacity or occupancy for our seat. And as Councilman Laura mentioned, I'm formerly from the hotel business, so that's how I look at things. But 63% of our patrons are from out of town. What? Okay, oh, I'm back. No, I'm not. Let's see if I can skip forward. There we go. We're moving now. So just because we're in Wickenburg, the West Valley highly participates in everything that we do. So we do national and international touring performances every year. So here are some examples. Of the four Italian tenor shows, 65% were from out of town. Canadian Brass, 66. The Doo-Wop Project, 64. and the Gatlin brothers 64. So they brought $42,326 to our community, but they are patrons from the West Valley. Here's what it looked like in 2018-19, which is the last full season that we had. So the Americans for the Arts study said, if a patron lived in your community, on average, they spent $15.44 over and above their ticket price in your community. So that would mean that they spent $80,431 in Wickenburg. If the resident was from out of town, they spent $23.32 for a total of $205,443 by non-resident patrons. Our total spending just from our patrons was $285,000 in the community of Wickenburg. What is that? Well, it's overnight stays. People come to Wickenburg, see our shows, stay overnight. They shop, they eat. A local patron has a babysitter. It's all of that inclusive. So that's quite a great deal that our patrons bring to our community. So if the patron spending was $285,000, the Webb Center, we track every expense that we have, whether it's in-state, out-of-state, and local. The Webb Center spent $594,000 in the community of Wickenburg. So our total economic impact to our town was $880,000 for a 600-seat performing arts center. And we are very proud of that, and our town loves it. Our impact in Arizona overall was $1,100,000. And you're welcome. What we can't quantify, those were all quantifiable numbers. What I can't quantify is how many people moved to Wickenburg, actually moved, due to the Webb Center and our arts and culture program. And I have 3 board members right now who moved here because of that. We have a new community, Wickenburg Ranch. They are participating, and every realtor gives a tour of Wickenburg, and the Webb Center is on that tour because we are such an institution and such a quality performing arts center in a very small community. So those are my numbers, so we can come out of that if we would. So as I mentioned, we are a state-of-the-art performing arts center. We do national and international touring performances, and our body of work has several phases to it. So we do present these national shows and international shows from November through March. And we do about 35 shows total. So that is a lot of shows crammed into a very short window, if you can imagine. But what we say around here in Wickenburg, it's a cowboy saying, you got to make hay while the sun is shining. So we're a winter visitor community, so we really pack them in when our visitors are here. We also have an Arts for Kids program, and that is twofold. One, we put artists in, the artists that are touring, we put them in classrooms, or we do special performances for local school children in our area. And our local school child community goes all the way up to Kingman, because we're the only performing arts center on this whole side of Arizona. So we have a very active gathering of those students as well. So we might show that the kids might see a performance of one of the artists that's going to perform a public performance on our stage, or sometimes we bring in something special just for children. Some of them are curriculum based, and there was a time when you couldn't put anything in front of a child that wasn't based in curriculum, and now they are just so desperate for anything. It's great. They'll let you just have wonderful music that leads you toe tapping or dance or piano, and our school district has been really great. We will do 2 performances in one day, and it's we get about 1,200 children in there every time you do it. So it's very thrilling. And sometimes it's their first field trip and their first time on a bus, and it's just, and it's first time in a facility, anything like that. So it's very exciting. The second phase of our Arts for Kids program is our summer camp for children. And my colleagues on the screen have heard me say this many times. It is the best summer camp ever. Really, nationally, it's incredible. It is held the month of June. We have 2 sessions, and they're both 2 weeks long. 125 kids are in each session. They are in ages from going into 1st grade all the way through high school. So there's a very wide range of ages. The kids take 4 classes a day. We have 27 teaching artists that teach every period, and they could teach aerial silk. They could teach, we have an obstacle course. We have a culinary class that's always sold out. We have singing, acting, comedy, improv, painting, any art genre that you can think of. And even last year, we put some STEM in there just for fun. NASA, we had a program from NASA, and the kids made rockets. It was called Blast Off. Some of those rockets are still on the top of the gym right now. So they take those 4 classes, and then we give them a class called Showtime, where they learn the lines and the music and the movement for the part of the musical that they will be in. So they learn that, and we cast both casts of the musical that we're going to do at the end of camp in advance. So the lead characters work with an actor from New York and a vocal coach. We don't require the kids to be able to sing when they go in, but we will teach them to sing. And they carry the lead roles in that play. At the end of Camp Imagination, after 2 weeks, those children will put on a full musical. And the last time we were able to hold camp all together in real time, we did The King and I. Prior to that, we did Mary Poppins. Only children could learn that fast. The camp is $125 it's $100 for the first child and $80 for any other child in that family. So it's very economical. It includes breakfast and lunch and snacks and all their craft supplies. The next phase of our body of work is our residency program. So every year, and sometimes twice a year, we bring artistic companies to Wickenburg. They stay in one of our local dune ranches, and they are here for 2 to 3 weeks. And their job while they're here is to make a new piece of performance art. So it might be a play, it might be rehearsing for to record music on a record. It could be a dance. So we've done all kinds. We've done music, dance, theater, even classical music. We did a classical music piece that was just beautiful. So that's our Made in Wickenburg residency program. While at the Dune Ranch, they will participate in things like campfires at night or breakfast cookout rides full of grease and bacon and biscuits and gravy. But they'll ride there on horseback. It's super fun. They might even engage sometimes in something called the cow patty toss, and I will leave that one to your imagination. But yes, that's what it is. And then they will, while they're here, their final day will be they will perform for our audiences. They will also do 2 what we call open rehearsals. So they will open their rehearsal doors and allow the public to come in and watch them make this new piece of performance art so they can engage them in the process. And then I will also hold and host something called Conversation with an Artist, that I interview all of the artists involved so that our community and our patrons can have a deeper reach to their art. So that's our Made in Wickenburg residency program. That is in normal time. In COVID time, we don't do any of that. No, we can't, because we can't open. We have 600 seats, and we are going to socially distance, do half a house and performances, and the truth is that I don't feel we can keep patrons safe. And secondly, that leaves me with about 200 seats to sell, and really I don't have national and international touring artists who want to tour right now. So that is completely out. So here's what we've been doing. Right now, we are having a 3-week residency with Alonzo King, an internationally renowned choreographer and dance maker, and his full company is here, the Lines Ballet, and he is creating a new dance. So that's what they did for the first 2 weeks. There's 21 of them staying at a Dune Ranch and loving it. And they loved the meteor shower the other night because we have a dark sky program and it was beautiful. And then this week we turn the corner and we are making a movie. Yes, a full-on, there is 14 people here from a movie company making the movie about Alonzo King creating this work in Wickenburg, Arizona at the Webb Center. So we have rails in there for the cameras to move on. We have cranes over the dancers. We're also shooting outside in nature. So we're really excited about that. And that took up our month of December. We have also done some other things while we're down. We have been able to employ our entire staff the whole time, and we plan to until we can go back to normal, which is wonderful because we have a very small staff. So we have taken this time to do things to the theater that needed to be done, and we never were down enough long enough to do them. We've put in some safety and security measures for COVID and for other things. We have also, we needed a new website desperately, and we got a grant to do it. So we have just opened our new website. It was on Saturday, so take a look at that. It's dupac.org. We did things like in October, we did an escape room for 3 weeks. We've never had an escape room here. That's where you go in a room. So we turned our stage into an escape room. We were trying to think of anything we can use our building for that'd be useful and fun and engaging and bring our community together. And same as Cate, we socially distanced everybody and their time going in, and it was a blast. We had a great success with that. We are doing our gala. Our gala is normally in February, and we are not doing it in February because we are staying closed at least till fall of 2021, maybe 2022. We'll see how it goes. But our gala is going to be at a dude ranch in one of their outdoor concert venues, and it will be so fun, and the Texas Tenors are going to join us for our gala, and that is moved to April 3rd. We have also launched our virtual performance series, and we are finishing up the fall series with 2 performances, and it's been very exciting. The Phoenix Chorale is performing for us on Saturday, and then we have Natalie McMaster and Danelle Leahy from the Leahy family and their children performing live from their home in Canada. So we're very excited about everything that we're doing. It's kind of mind-boggling to absolutely reinvent yourself overnight. And what we thought we could do instantly didn't work out at all. So we have kind of changed positions and really thought through what we can do. We have more engaging activities coming up. Gold Rush Days is coming in Wickenburg, and that'll take a whole new form and our participation in it. But I think we're going to send out hearts, giant hearts to our community and paint. And we're going to ask everybody to paint what they love in their families, in their life, or about Wickenburg, and we're going to hang them all over town. So that's the latest from the Webb Center. And I really thank you for having me here today.
My goodness, Cathy, it was such a pleasure to hear everything that you're doing. In fact, I feel like I just want to take a drive up there and look around the town. It's been a while, and you've got a lot of good things. I can speak as a council member, the importance, as you were talking about the economic impact. It does make a difference. I'm sure in Wickenburg, your government, you probably have some arts, through Parks and Rec or something like that has an impact. Partnering, when cities are partnering with the nonprofits, it's just a huge win for everybody. And so thank you for sharing all that you're doing up there. And we have just a couple of minutes before we close, and I just wanted to circle back to Sandra and everybody and just give you a minute or two just for any closing remarks, call to action, whatever you would like to share with us in closing. It's been so wonderful spending this time with you. So Sandra.
Well, thank you for the opportunity again. What I've been excited to hear from all the organizations online here today is that we all have a lot of great programs and things that are happening here in the arts because we all have a passion to serve. And what I'm excited about as well for West Valley Arts Council is the ability for us to adapt like everyone else here on the screen, be it live, be it virtual, be it digital, to meet the needs of the community because we know the impact that the arts has on our lives every single day. And again, I just want to put a plea out for everyone out there, for every arts organization, to find ways to continue to support us and engage with us because we do need it, especially as nonprofits. There's not a lot of funding coming in to try to find a way. And the economic impact is huge, but the personal health impact is even bigger. Everyone has turned to finding digital things to engage with from a arts perspective because we can't always be face to face, and where we can be face to face, we've been quick to jump on it. So I want to wish everyone a happy holiday again. Thank you for your continued support of the arts. Look up West Valley Arts Council. We have a brand new exhibit opening in January, which is African American focused, which will also include workshops and music and everything. So there's plenty here in the West Valley. You don't have to go anyplace else. We're making it happen for you here today. And again, we encourage and thank you for your support.
You're on mute. Thank you, Sandra. Kyle, what would you like to share?
Well, I'd naturally like to thank Westmark for putting this together, and Laura, thank you for hosting all of this. I like to look at, we're talking economic development, and as arts organizations, we are probably at the bottom level of local businesses. We are really in the water of your community. We're part of the community because supporting a nonprofit arts organization is supporting the very community that they serve. And we are all absolutely fundamentally local businesses that are obviously dealing with some really big challenges right now. And I would encourage anyone who is watching this to remember the importance that arts play in your community, the importance nonprofit organizations play in your community, that small businesses play in your community, because we are all of those things. And as we get through this, we're hoping that we can all still survive and still make the great commitment to the community that we have through our programs and our projects that we do. But it's going to be a challenge because the connection we have to the community is really going to be important. And if we can't encourage our community to rally behind the arts organizations that are here in the West Valley, it's going to be a large, very long, hard slog for us to all recover from this. So I'd encourage everybody to recognize the importance that the arts are. They are part of the heart and the soul of any community. For the video that didn't play, it's on our website, azbroadway.org. It's on some social media. Check it out. I paid somebody to produce it, and they did a good job. And he's a local artist, and so support local arts. He knows how to make movies, and I don't. And he put that together. So if you have a chance, check that out. And thank you.
Thank you, Kyle. Cate, what would you like to share in closing?
I would also like to thank Westmark and Councilmember Kaino for this webinar and having us on. As Kyle said, usually the arts are probably at the bottom of the rung of what people remember. And I think, there are some industries that have been harder than others during this pandemic, and the arts community, performing arts, is one of them. So thank you for the community and how they have rallied behind all of the arts groups in the ways that they can, and just hang in there with us. We will be back to it as soon as we can. I have found the support from the community to be so overwhelming that we really are meaningful to them, and we really do provide those meaningful experiences that bring them together, that provide joy. And we would love nothing more than to be doing that with them right now and celebrate the holidays as we normally would with Christmas Carol or some other form of holiday entertainment. But we are playing it safe, as we all should right now. So we'll be back as soon as we can. And I, again, just ask, support one of the arts groups on this panel or any other arts group in your community. We all need your help in any way that you can. So thank you very much, and happy holidays.
Thank you, Cate. And Cathy, the last word.
Well, thank you, Councilman Kaino, and to Westmark for having us all here today. It's great to get a forum to talk about the arts. I want you to know that I am living in a bubble and have been for 6 weeks. The dancers are in a bubble, the film crew's in a bubble, we've all been tested, we're all good, and we're going to continue to work up here and just stay connected to your local arts organization and any nonprofit. We want to create community for you. We're working hard. If you have an idea of something we could do, please let us know, and just stay connected to each other. Love each other through the holidays, and know that we're here and we'll be back. It's just, we're going to be the last people to come back from the pandemic. We cannot gather in large masses, so hang in there for us and just support the arts. And I wish you all a very happy holiday.
Well, thank you all for your heartfelt messages. We say, do you fight on? We need you to come through, and I do encourage the community to support you. This has been a great hour. I've enjoyed spending time with you today. This webinar will be posted and available for viewing on the Westmark website. So it's been a joy. Thank you for sharing your heart and everything that you're doing. And I wish you all the very best and a transformative 2021.